Why are teenagers so lazy? Why is it that they sleep so late at night, and why are they so grumpy in the morning? And they're grumpy most of the time, but especially in the mornings. Hello, I'm Bimal Raj from Insightful Parents, and today we are going to be talking about some of these aspects that you keep seeing with respect to your teenagers. And what if I tell you that we cannot really blame our kids for it, because this is one of the causes or one of the results of a lot of changes that are happening in their brains that are developing. Okay, now you need to understand something. There is something called the circadian rhythm, which are basically patterns of waking and sleeping in all of us, in you and I, all of us have. And it is controlled by a part of the brain which is deep inside something called as hypothalamus. And this circadian rhythms we commonly call as body clock. I'm sure you are aware of this thing called body clock, right? Now, for an adult, the normal waking hours or the body clock is awake or completely wide awake for 16 hours, and it generally corresponds to daylight, and it switches off responding to the daylight disappearing for about 8 hours, and that is the time when we feel sleepy. Now, what happens is that when the body clock switches off, or when it starts switching off, our brain produces a hormone called melatonin. And it is this that prepares our brain to start feeling sleepy. Okay, and that's what happens with us. Now, interestingly, for teenagers, this hormone melatonin starts to increase only around 11 p.m. at night. That is at 11 o'clock at night. And for naturally, before the onset of this melatonin, they, or you and I, if that is the hormone is not secreted, we do not tend to feel sleepy. Now, a very interesting fact is that children of the age 9 to 10, and also the adults, we need only 8 hours of sleep. But research has proven that during the teenage years, that is from 11, 12 to even up to about 20 years, the kids require at least 9.5 hours of sleep at night. Now, the challenge here now is that your teenager cannot sleep at the designated time because of lack of the hormone getting released, but still has to wake up early for school or for some other activity every morning. Okay, now this makes them constantly sleep deprived. Now, also remember that a lot of people think that I can sleep through the weekend. Again, research shows that just sleeping extra on weekends is not going to compensate for all the sleep deprivation that happens during the week. In fact, in some cases, it messes up with the sleep patterns more. Now, you need to understand what lack of sleep can do. Lack of sleep can cause anxiety. It can increase the production of the stress hormone called cortisol. It can cause depression. It can cause pure immunity, poor judgment, pure memory, hypersexuality, and all these kind of stuff. Now, this is very important for you to understand. Okay, scientists say that teenage is the time unlike any other time during our lifetime, and the brain is doing the most radical and fundamental changes since they were 2-year-olds. And this period or this phenomena is referred to as plasticity. That means their brains are physically changing. It is growing new abilities in new areas, and a lot of things happen, and all these things happen while they sleep. And when they're sleep deprived, it can have a lot of long-term ill effects. Okay, now, so naturally, the best thing you can do for them is to ensure that they get enough sleep and sleep at the right time. It's very difficult because if you wait for them to feel sleepy and fall asleep, it's not going to happen before 11, 12. Because 11 o'clock, they start feeling sleepy. They will go inside, they'll brush, they will take their own time, they will sleep by about 12, and they'll get up by 6 or 7, right? So this is happening with my daughter as well. So what I started doing is that I make sure that she's in the bedroom by about 9:30, maximum by 10. I tell her to finish off brushing and everything, and she's in bed by about 10:15. She protests a lot because she's actually not sleepy. And she says, I'm not sleepy. What am I doing in bed? I say, it's okay. I put her down, I put some music, and I switch off the light, and she goes to sleep in about less than half an hour. So that means she's fast asleep definitely by about 10:30. And that is something that you can do. Make the room comfortable, switch off the lights, make sure that you eat dinner at least 1.5, 2 hours before. Make sure that they're not on any gadgets 30 to 40 minutes before they sleep. Get into a routine. They should sleep or they should get into bed every night at a certain time, and the body clock might adjust a little bit so that it knows that that's a time that you constantly do that. You've seen that our body clock adjusts, right? So make sure that you help your child get 9.5 hours of sleep, because the long-term effects can be pretty bad, and it can have permanent damage to the neurons of your children's brain, which will affect their ability to grasp their studies and everything. Okay, I hope you learned something from this. Please give your comments about what I shared just now below in the comment below, and do share if possible. Thank you.